Welcome to Soul Endeavors. I'm Lisa, and I'm your host here at soulendeavors.com. Today, we are going to have our fifth episode in Soul Endeavors, Soul of the Nation, Exploration of the Values in the American Flag. We have already covered the values associated with the color red and white, and we are in our second week talking about the values associated with the color blue. So today we are going to talk about perseverance. Perseverance is defined as persistence in doing something despite difficulty or delay in achieving success. Perseverance is a continued effort to do or achieve something despite difficulty, failure, or opposition. It is synonymous with persistence, tenacity, determination, resolve, resolution, resoluteness, staying power, purposefulness, patience, and endurance. And it is the opposite of apathy, indifference, laziness, indolence, and cowardice. As we've done with the other values, we're going to talk about their role in the various world religions. The theme of perseverance is a significant theme in the Bible, including in Galatians and Thessalonians, where we're instructed, do not give up or grow weary of doing good things. In Proverbs, we are instructed to fall 7 times and rise 8, to remain steadfast under trial. Also in the Bible, we're told that love bears all things and endures all things. Bible calls on people to be persistent in their faith and in their prayer. The Bible also acknowledges, however, that sometimes perseverance and persistence can be a negative. Persevering in or persisting with willful sin is viewed as hostile to God. Within the Christian faith, perseverance, the idea of perseverance, has its foundation in the story of Job. Job maintains his faith and his own integrity despite losing everything, his family, his health, and his wealth. Within the story of Job and within the Bible overall, trials are perceived as an opportunity to be steadfast and to be perseverant. Christians are encouraged to endure trials and to remain hopeful and to trust in God. The reward for perseverance is to remain faithful to God. There's not an expectation that if you're persistent or perseverant, that you're going to regain anything. What you gain is an attitude of steadfastness rather than a reward of any direct proportion. Within Judaism, persistence is referred to as histadril. It is viewed as a mindset rather than an attribute. It's a determination to continue working towards a goal despite obstacles. In Judaism, persistence, perseverance is a core value that is taught within the Jewish education system and is considered essential for both personal and communal growth. The premise of perseverance within Judaism is strongly connected to the concept of endurance. Endurance is the ability to suffer patiently without giving up, even in the face of hardship and opposition. Within Islam, perseverance is an important trait and is directly connected to faith. The faith in Islam emphasizes patience, which is a combination of perseverance and self-control. Persistence in the face of adversity brings an individual closer to Allah. Patience is a virtue that guarantees a divine reward. It is also seen as a means to attain inner peace and contentment. People in the Muslim faith are encouraged to embody the spirit of perseverance and patience. For a Muslim to exhibit patience and perseverance and self-control is a reflection of their trust in Allah, that Allah will protect for those people who persevere. Within Buddhism and within Hinduism, it was harder to connect perseverance to the fundamental values in these two major religious faiths. This is the first fundamental value in the flag that I have not been easily to connect to the religious views. Part of my hope and agenda here was to suggest that historical American values are in alignment with the values from all of the major religions. I want to talk about the values that are embedded in the flag as a basis for unity and a basis to overcome the separation and division that I believe religious organizations and religious entities, contribute to. So I was a bit surprised that I could not make the connection between endurance, um, perseverance, and the Buddhist and Hindu faiths. But we are going to talk about each of those faiths individually, and I think we'll be able to understand where perseverance still has a role to play, a very important role in both of these faith traditions. So within Buddhism, the term perseverance is not used. Um, the term that is used is right mindfulness. Right mindfulness is the seventh right on the list of Noble Eightfold Path. And within Buddhism, the Noble Eightfold Path are the actions that are required on the path to enlightenment, right? So the goal in Buddhism is to achieve a status or a perspective of enlightenment. The main mechanism to achieve enlightenment is to meditate and to focus and to connect um, with the self, but also with the universe. So, from my perspective, it seems that perseverance is essential to the process of spiritual development within Buddhism rather than focusing on the outcome. So, to be perseverant is to stand steadfast, to persist in the face of hardship, persist in the face of obstacles. Whereas within Buddhism, the persistence is the facing, the persistence is the willingness, and the persistence to stand, or more accurately, in the persistence to medicate, the persistence that it takes to maintain that focus and maintain that progress on the spiritual path. So I would make an argument that while the word perseverance is not prominent in the Buddhist writings, that perseverance, in fact, is a very critical value in the exercise of the Buddhist faith and tradition. That carries us now to Hinduism. Perseverance is viewed as the importance of fulfilling one's duties and the practice of yoga. To fulfill one's duties requires enduring hardships, facing obstacles, and maintaining commitment. It encompasses the values and traits of focus, determination, and self-control in the face of adversity. A person in the Hindu faith must remain steadfast in order to walk the path of the spiritual journey and to fulfill one's duties to achieve Dharma. So I believe within the Hindu faith, I would make the same argument that I had made for the Buddhist faith, which is to say the term endurance and the term perseverance may not have a prominent role in the actual teachings of these two religious faiths. However, perseverance would be a requirement in order to follow the path of spiritual development that is laid forth. So certainly, I think we can say that perseverance would not be contradictory in any manner to the values of a Hindu or of a Buddhist. I did find, and I didn't go too far into this with the other values underlying the flag, but in relation to perseverance, I was able to identify certain symbols that represent perseverance, symbolism that's recognized across cultures, across time, and across religion. So I just wanted to talk about a couple of those because it was unique aspect of this particular value didn't do with the others. Knots are a universal symbol representing perseverance. The complex knots represent the resilience and the strength that is needed to overcome life's challenges. And I never, certainly I've heard of the Celtic knots. Um, I actually like knots. I actually find a lot of intrigue in terms of studying knots. I used to try to make knots, but I outgrew that probably when I was about 10. But knots are very interesting things, and certainly perseverance. I think people looking at a knot, finding a knot, would recognize the imagery of what a knot represents. The other interesting thing I found, so we really haven't talked a lot about um, the Asian religions or Chinese or Japanese. We really haven't talked much about that. It's not necessarily intentional. But one of the images that represents perseverance is bamboo. Bamboo is recognized as representing the ability to bend without breaking, as well as the ability to grow quickly and withstand harsh conditions. So bamboo represents perseverance, strength, steadfastness. So that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed our series on the American flag, the values embedded into the American flag and associated with the colors of the American flag. It's been a pleasure making these videos, and we just have one final topic near and dear to my heart, which is the topic of justice. I appreciate you taking the time to watch. I look forward to seeing you again, and I hope you all have a great day.